I'm Nate Lawrence. I'm a pianist, I'm a songwriter, and I'm a singer. I've always loved music. To say that anyone had to develop their love for music is maybe a little silly, because I think everybody's had a love for music from the moment they come out of the womb. It's just a matter of trying not to lose your love as you age. You know, a lot of people, especially if they perform music professionally, they start getting all wrapped up in their practice, all wrapped up in the competition of it. They might end up in like some crazy situation where they stop liking music. And I'm trying to avoid that, but it almost happened to me. When I started just thinking about music as expressing myself, I started loving it again. Got back to, you know, the way I was when I was 13 years old and just really starting to get into playing piano and loving music for the sake of playing music. I started experimenting with all different kinds of styles, not just jazz, but branching out into different music, playing kind of based on some experiences I've had and trying to interpret those emotions into song. And since then, I've been writing up a storm and couldn't complain. I like to think of all the lyrics that I write as something that you can maybe laugh about if you want to, but really something that you go, oh, that makes sense. That's an interesting point you're making. I like to think of my lyrics as riddles. You might not understand them the first time you listen, but then maybe one lyric will make you go, oh, that's what this song is about, and then everything else will make sense. When I got into jazz music, I got in through a back door. Instead of growing up with, you know, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, all that, my parents introduced me to Carlos Santana, you know, the Allman Brothers Band, kind of rescuing me from the terrible late 90s like rap rock I was listening to at the time, you know. And all that improvisation kind of got me really interested in stuff like fusion, like Chick Corea, Herbie Hancock. When I took piano lessons in the beginning, I took those kind of, you know, prescribed young child piano lessons where you play through your workbook and you learn how to sight read music and you play the same things that everyone else has played. And I didn't really connect with it. Honestly, I wasn't really a huge piano fan until about 12 or 13 when I started learning the blues scale, learning improvisation, and that's what made it really fun for me. And when I started doing that, my classical teacher didn't know what to do with me. A couple years ago, I just started a jazz trio, does a bunch of corporate events, and we started doing nursing homes recently, which is actually a blast. It sounds a little bit sad, I guess, but it's so much fun when you get there. People are so appreciative, and they love the music you play. I started playing this whole new style where instead of, you know, the traditional what people automatically associate with jazz, Miles Davis between the 50s and 60s, I started going to, you know, the kind of cheesier stuff, the Sinatra, you know, this kind of crooner tunes, playing a bunch of those, and people just eat it up, and I have a blast. Denver is fantastic because it's full of gigs. It's full of great musicians, but it's not oversaturated in a way that like a lot of other parts of the world are. Hopefully it keeps growing, and I keep being happy here.